Good evening, Carol John shoppers. It's Monday. It's weird. It's July 3rd. We will be closed tomorrow, which is why we're here now, which is Monday. So I keep on reminding myself so I don't come into work tomorrow. Welcome to Monday night. I did it. That was really bad. I swear to God, that wasn't even a joke. John True's here. Andrew's here. Kevin's back there doing work like the best employee this comic shop's ever seen. Kevin is working on back issues, which we have gotten a bunch of recently. You will see a lot of new stuff hitting this wall. Some low keys. Whoa, there's Iron Man #1 up there. What do you know? So keep an eye out for that. Speaking of back issues coming up, it's July, so that means that we're closer to our Not a Comic-Con sale. It's going to be July 20th through the 23rd.
Yep.
I got it right. Everything, all back issues are going to be half off. Everything in the store is going to be 10% off if it's not already discounted, and we'll have a huge room of dollar books. But the more exciting part is that on the 22nd, that Saturday, Dave Michelini is going to be doing a signing for us. So he created Venom and Taskmaster, and we won't stop talking about this so you won't forget. But he'll be doing an open signing, and any money that he collects during that signing goes to a cat rescue charity, which is just the most charming thing in the world. Right?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Right. So we've got his books available. We got a whole section of his books.
And speaking of that, John's writing the email this week because I think he's putting in a bunch of information about that. So there's not an email from me this week.
For those of you who take your Andrea recommendations very seriously, like I. But we're going to start on the DC.
Yeah.
Where are you pointing at?
First appearances.
Oh, there's so many first appearances. I'm so thrown off today. All right.
I'm so sad.
Because there's some weird names in here, man. All right, 2 from DC. You've got Night Terror's Ravager with the first appearance of Murder Man and the Slaughter Squad. Or the Slafter Squad. Steelworks is the first appearance of a character named Silver Mist. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest is the first in a miniseries, 5-issue miniseries. This is the first appearance of a character called Nada. Edge of Spider-Verse 4 is the first appearance of a villain named Uncle Ruckus, which is really creepy, but more importantly, and we'll get to it excitedly in a couple minutes, the first appearance of a character named Headline. That's all I gotta say. And then Extreme Venomverse #4, A, the last issue in the miniseries, B, all 3 first appearances. You got an anime-style Venom, you got a noir Venom, and you got a plant-based Venom named Flora, which is a terrible name, but there's 3 first appearances. Right? Yep. I did it. It did. Monday's rolling along, guys. I just gotta remember all the other stuff. I just do this at the bottom. John Dudas is off from the fire station, so he's doing a lot of extra stuff this weekend, and we've got a ton of newly cover price ratio variants from the DC wall.
Some spiffy ones in there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff from kind of like the middle of last summer, like this time last year, up through the present. John depriced them all. So they're not priced up. They are just cover price, so they're $4.99 or $5.99 or whatever the cover price of the book was. So that's awesome. That's a good chance to get some rare stuff for cheap. We have a bunch of Spider-Verse action figures at the bottom of the table, just like last week. Spidey and His Amazing Friends, the ever-cool Cyborg Spider-Man, everybody from across the Spider-Verse. Kyle's going to give you a shout, or a good look at, including one last Spidey 2099. Probably a good one to snag. They don't do that figure every day. And then we're into kids stuff. Batman's got a DC book for just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
5 scarier stories for the Dark Knight, for a Dark Knight. From Free Comic Book Day, you got the Clark and Lex, the full graphic novel. So if you caught the preview on Free Comic Book Day, want to check out the full thing, there's that. Step Into Reading's got a Mario Kart book. You've got Spider-Gwen, or a Marvel-verse Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider collection.
Yes.
That's a lot of S's and G's. And then a new, also just time for Halloween, a new Narwhal. Kyle likes to think that now he's moved into the depths, so he needs some illumination.
Yeah.
This cover, fun fact, glows in the dark. Look at that. Also on the all ages side of things, Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever Summer Special, Beach Party. You've got My Little Pony on number 14, Sonic the Hedgehog's on number 62. And then on the semi-kid side of things, you got Disney Villains Maleficent number 3. TMNT Armageddon Game is on number 8. And we have a 1 in 10 variant available for that one. Then we've got, let's jump up here. Oh, yeah, still semi all ages. Gargoyles on number 7. That'll be your cover A. And this will be your 1 in 10 variant. That's Jay Lee all art cover.
Yes.
And then not kid stuff. So we'll jump just a little bit. Grimm comes back with number 11 after a month. Pink Elephant from Sumerian Comics is on number 1. And we have Pink Lemonade, the full miniseries from Oni, which actually kind of is all ages. There was no real content problem with that one. So, yeah, let's jump up here. From Dark Horse, you got Survivor number 3 of that miniseries. And then a nice healthy row of a very recommended book by us. Tula Lote and Scott Snyder are starting a miniseries called Barnstormers. It's about the rise of aviation in the early days of the 20th century, and 2, maybe 3 pilots and how they interact with the newly forming companies and politics that surround that situation. It's a little bit sexy. It's very snarky. It's got kind of like Green Lantern vibes where like Hal interacts with Carol Ferris, like that kind of character level. But it's grounded. There's no supernatural element or anything to it. But it's really well written. It's really beautiful. 2 really great creators.
Rocketeer vibes.
Rocketeer vibe. There's like a metal android thing, but that might be a dream. I'm not going to give it away. But we got a bunch of covers for that, and I did not memorize the artists. I don't know if anybody else did. That'll be your cover A.
That's Tula Lote. And then, let's see, Dave Johnson did one, which would be that one.
Cool, there's Dave Johnson.
Jill Thompson did the 1 in 10.
Thank you.
There is a Tula Lote cover B and the Carnival cover.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, so great beginning to that book. And a good end to this one. So Matt Kint is finishing up Hairball with that miniseries. Dark Horse also gives us the paperback of the second American Gods miniseries. So that's My Ansel. Probably one of our most recommended horror books of last year, easily. It was an oversized 4-issue miniseries called Night of the Ghoul. It's very rooted in cinema and like creating movies, but like cursed movies. Specifically one cursed movie, and it's super creepy and super bodily horror-esque, and
It's something the kids from the Nasty would want to watch.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're a fan of the Nasty, you will love this book. So, and Frank Avilla does all the artwork in it. So this is the complete miniseries called Night of the Ghoul. It's fantastic.
It's got all the covers in the back too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. Even the cinema ones. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Another phenomenal complete series that John Cheer and I have read. I've read it 2 times.
I've read it at least once all the way through, and then probably halfway through one other time.
Mark Waid wrote a not Superman story called Irredeemable, and it's essentially a guy who has all the powers of Superman and uses them in none of the good ways.
Well, he just turns bad.
Like really bad.
Really bad.
Like really, really bad.
There's
Irredeemably bad?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But this is the complete, almost 60 issues, almost.
About that, yeah.
For $60. So $1 an issue. If I had all the trades, I would have sold them 2 times over, and John would have sold them 3 times over.
Yeah.
So this is the first time this series has been available in a long time. If you need a good summer book to sink your teeth into, this is it.
It is.
Yep.
And then the final for Dark Horse is Masquerade. It is the Kevin Smith mini series. Volume 1.
Yes,
It's half of it. First 4 issues. I mean, she's in a mess. She's killing people who wronged her. And yeah, it's good.
Kevin Smith
It's
is
Kevin
writing
Smith.
a sexy vigilante.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Speaking of sexy, Titan puts out a what's the
Gun
name?
Honey.
Gun Honey side series
Side story, yep.
called Heat Seeker. So that's on issue 1, and Gene.
Just go through it. Come on.
I got. Gene Simmons is writing a comic book called Dominatrix. I think it's coming back, right?
Yes.
It was something that
Yes.
happened before. She's a dominatrix and a vigilante. What else do you need to know?
Ta-da.
And now we're doing DC. To start off with DC, I'm going to explain kind of what's going on this summer. They're doing an event called Night Terrors. This is Night Terrors First Blood. It's at the top of the table. We'll get to that in a second. Night Terrors is going to have several 2-issue miniseries that are replacing the ongoing series for the next 2 months. So, we'll get to it in a second, but like Night Terrors the Joker is going to replace Joker Man Who Stopped Laughing for the next 2 months. So number 1, number 2, and then we'll get back to Joker number 14 or whatever they're picking up with. So, but Night Terrors is going to have several one-shots and 4-issue main story. So as far as subscriptions go, be specific about what you want, but if you have Batman on your file, we put Night Terrors Batman in your file for the next 2 months. You will see that in there, so hopefully that is not confusing. If it is confusing, there is a huge checklist in the back that they will make sure you see. But we have DC collected editions first.
Sword of Azrael has the whole thing collected here. Deathstroke Incorporated finishes off the Deathstroke Incorporated, which I'm pretty sure is volume. This is 1 through 7, so soft cover of it. The first part of the Deathstroke Incorporated. The last one is the one you want because that's the one that's the origin story and stuff.
Right.
But this one's still good. And then we have 2 Batman One Bad Days. We have The Penguin by John Ridley, and we have Batman One Bad Day Two-Face by Mariko Tamaki, and both are very good. In fact, I really, really like the Penguin one a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a good Penguin story. More hardcovers. DC vs. Vampires All Out War Part 1. It is DC vs. Vampires in black, white, and red. That's pretty much the best way to play it, and it's great.
It's everyone else you're not seeing in the main DC versus Vampires doing all the crazy stuff that was going on behind the scenes in that series.
Yes. Batman vs. Robin, the entire series by Mark Waid, collected in here for $30. We've got Steelworks number 2, which is, as we said, first appearance of
Silver Mist.
There we go.
Insert metal and other name, and you got a first appearance in Steelworks.
There you go. Above that, Adventures of Superman, John Kent, issue 5. It is also the awesome, penultimate issue of the Injustice Saga. We've got the regular cover. We have the Jim Chung variant, which is cool, and we have the 1 in 25 variant right there. And then we move into Night Terrors. Black Adam. So if you were sad that Black Adam ended, he's back for 2 issues, and big guy shows up to help him out because everybody in Night Terrors is asleep and going through nightmares. This is Black Adam's nightmare. There's some crazy stuff going on in there.
That's his family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have the variant cover B, and then we also have the 1 in 25 homage variant right there. Above that, Ravager is going through some Night Terrors. She's dealing with family stuff as well.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Having read First Blood, and they mention Ravager, kind of specifically, I imagine this is going to be kind of an essential 2-parter.
Yes. So she's in here. We have the Matina. Strike that. It's the Masafera variant with the creepy skull face. We have the Dustin Wynn variant, and we have the Matina variant, and then we have a 1 in 25 Stoko variant for that as well.
It didn't look like him.
I know it's very realistic for him.
Yeah. Night Terrors the Joker is fantastic. This is what happens when the Joker has nightmares, and the nightmares include what if Batman dies, and what does Joker do after that? And the Joker's nightmare is he gets an office job, and it's hilarious and awesome. And it is, if you've been reading Joker, you're going to still love this. It's by the same creative team. It's wonderful. Matina did a variant for that one there. We have the 1 in 25 spoof on the Jock variant here. Mm-hmm. We have the 1 in 50 variant for that one there too. Non-Night Terrors, Peacemaker tries hard. He's still trying hard. He's superheroes don't cry. Everybody cries is what he says. So yeah, it's wonderful. Batman Night Terrors. We don't have the regular cover, but we do have variants, and Batman is in the full-on midst of this Night Terrors thing. It's great. We will see the 1 in 50 the 1 in 50 cover will show more, but this is the Matina variant, the Dustin Wynn variant, the 1 in 25 variant, and then the Batboy Gunface. Which actually makes sense when you read the story.
Oh, it's freaky as hell, man. Yeah.
That's the 1 in 50 variant. And then we have a facsimile, My Greatest Adventures number 80. It's first appearance of Doom Patrol. So just in time for the series to get on season 4, I believe, or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Halfway through it.
Yeah. So yeah, get your first appearance there, and then you know what? Let's start over here because we've got the Night Terror's Poison Ivy, which, as you said,
good.
was
It's suburban horror with like a bunch of goopy, drippy stuff and like Black Hole Sun video visuals.
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So we've got
That one and the Joker are like.
Oh,
We're not allowed
Probably
to
your
tell you to
favorites.
do recreational drugs and read it. We're not allowed to say that.
no.
We're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to
Yeah.
say it.
So we got the regular cover. We have the Lyrics Lee variant cover for that there, and then we have the Night Terror's First Blood. This is the one shot. This is what starts it all, and the bad guy Insomnia is looking for a very specific thing that's hidden in the nightmares of a hero, and so he wants to put everyone to sleep so he can find that item. It starts here. We have the regular cover. We have one copy of the neon cover, and then we have a 1 in 25 variant for that there.
True statement.
Yeah,
It's Marvel time.
it is.
Top of the table means a big Marvel stack, typically, and no exception in this case. You got Captain America number 750. The 2 Cap series have been split up until now. This is the first issue that has stories of Sam Wilson Captain America and Steve Rogers Captain America. I think there's 4. I mean, look at the
There's 6 stories.
There are 6 stories in the book altogether, and it is phenomenal the whole way through. It is a little... You do need a little bit of the prior couple of years Cap knowledge to absorb the 2 stories that kind of round out what's going on here. But I read it without reading Cap, and it's not rocket science. The other, we'll call them backup stories, the other 4 backup stories, are great just Cap through the ages stories. If you're a Captain America fan, you'll be very satisfied with this called an anniversary issue, I guess. Yeah. Then we've got variants for this one: the Hellfire Gala variant with Sam Wilson, the Marvel Icons variant, the Perez cover. Thank you. We'll call it the Sam Wilson variant, and then John Cassidy did a blue variant, a white variant, and a red variant.
Red, white, and blue. Yay.
Yep. Oh, and one more: the 1 in 10 Sharon Carter as Destroyer design cover for $10, which is rad. Next to that, Marvel Zero is a one-shot from Marvel reprinting the free comic book day issues. So the Uncanny Avengers and the Spider-Man Venom free comic book day issues, if you missed them, which a lot of people did because we had to give out all of them, they are in here. So that's cool for, I think, what, $8?
$7, $6.99.
$6.99.
Let cover be.
Oh, and that's cover B. Thank you.
With Deadpool.
Yeah, and he's not in the book, so I can put my cover A back.
Yeah.
I did not know that because I didn't read the free comic book day issue because I was too busy giving out free comics. Irony. Edge of Spider-Verse number 4 is the last in the miniseries. There are, again, 3 original stories in here. This is the first solo story of Dream Spider, too, which is really cool. The reason we all love this book and we're kind of smiling on the inside right now is because
on the outside.
Yeah. There is a first appearance in here of the character Headline, who is the version of Spider-Man if J. Jonah Jameson was bitten by a radioactive spider, and it is pitch perfect and fantastic, and I expect there to be none on the table tomorrow because every one of you should ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing it's missing is bring me pictures of myself.
So, phenomenal last issue. We're all really stoked about it. The suit looks good. The story's great. And we have the Ryan Gonzalez variant. Huzzah! Marvel Facsimile this week is Hulk 180, soon to be followed by Hulk 181. So if you like one, let us know so we can make sure we get it for you. But this is the first,
It's an early appearance of Wendigo.
which is obviously the reason everybody wants it, or a cameo appearance of Wolverine. But that's reprinted for $4. What do you know? Affordable. Thor's annual is better than I thought it was going to be.
We all thought it was going to be.
The Hammer Says Who's Mythos, I didn't give a hoot when I pulled it out of the box, but then I read it, and you definitely want to read the Mythos story. We all made good little gasping noises. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to, right?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great flip through. It's a good one-shot. It's all classic Thor Asgard with a great new villain. It works really well.
If you come in and you're like, oh, who is Mythos? And you want to flip through it and see who Mythos is, by all means.
Have at it.
But, oh my gosh, it's a good review.
Great review. Oh, I didn't look at these. We'll call it Asgard variant? Mm-hmm. Okay. Asgard variant, Women of Marvel variant, and the Hellfire Gala variant. Thor's looking fly. Look at that cane.
Smack that thing on the ground.
Another miniseries wrapping up. Clobber in Time number 5. The Thing. We got a lot of Thing and Dr. Doom interaction, but I'm not caught up.
Yeah, I'm not caught up either. But
But
my
it's
gosh,
wrapping up the
Steve
miniseries.
Stroh's artwork is just makes it worth it every time.
Killing it. Oh, it's the last one too. X-23 Deadly Genesis, also the 5th issue of 5 in that miniseries. Then we got the beginning of a miniseries. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest starts a 5-issue miniseries with a ton of girl power in that book. You got some Spider-Woman stuff.
Yep.
Who else was in there? Monica Rambeau's in there. That'll be your cover A. Chew did a variant. Killing it. We got a Stormbreakers cover, and we got another Hellfire Gala with the most fly jacket I've ever seen in my entire life. Fantastic Four is on number 9. This is the second part of the story they set up in the previous issue, number 8. Variant for this one, Bianchi.
Yep.
And then we've got the Hellfire Gala variant. I don't need your permission. I knew who it was. I didn't have a question mark at the end of that sentence.
Felt like you did.
I had to turn my head for a second. Hellfire Gala variant with Iceman. And then Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is on number 5. They're trying to solve a murder. It's a magical murder. I'm pretty stoked about it.
It's been so good.
It's been so good.
I didn't even read the Clee stuff, and I'm really digging this.
Oh, you should. You love it.
I know. I should.
Chad McKay, writing Avengers. And then Hellfire Gala variant and Lionel Francis Yu variant. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? You knew Daredevil. I don't know anything about Daredevil. You don't either?
I'm not caught up. I've got 3 issues behind. I'm 2 issues behind. So.
They just announced the new Daredevil number 1 starting in October. So we're getting to the end, and I flipped through this issue looking for Deadpool appearances, admittedly. But it seems like we're getting really close to an end here. Like there's some bullet points I was a little shocked to see. Anybody know who this variant is?
Cover B.
Yeah. Cover B for Daredevil, and then we've got Kingpin on the Hellfire Gala variant, also looking very fly. Kyle and I were both talking about how we wish we could pull off these like ancient Roman Caesar leaves.
Olive leaves.
Yeah, whatever they are. Spider-Man is on issue number 10. We've got a significant Spider-Boy appearance in this one. And next to it, the Hellfire Gala variant with Firestar.
Yep.
Bunch of Venom this week. Venom Lethal Protector wraps up this miniseries, and there is a ton of Venom Doom in here. Ton of it. So that'll be your issue 5. There's only one cover for it. Venom number 22 comes out this week. We've got 2 variants for that one, the Vosberg and the Hellfire Gala. Which, look at that. One shot for X-Men gets us another Before the Fall. This one's the Sinister Four. This is the origin of Mr. Sinister's 3 or 4 clones as a troop. So that's a one-shot cover A. That'll be your cover B. You got a Stormbreaker cover and a Hellfire Gala cover. Who is that guy? What's his name? I can't remember. He's on Mars.
Yeah.
All right. Look, more Venom. Another miniseries wrapping up. Jeez, man. Summer Symbiote's my butt. This will be your cover A for Extreme Venomverse. You've got the Stegman. Yep, Stegman other variant, the Momoko cover, the Lashley symbiote cover, and then featuring Anime Venom, the 1 in 25 variant. First cover appearance of her solo, so it's a staggering 50 bones. X-Men is on issue number 24. We got cover A for that one. The Stormbreaker cover and a Hellfire Gala variant. And then we're into more. Oh, no, we got some Star Wars, too. Star Wars number 36 this week. There's cover A. There's your trade dress variant. They're going to start doing those this summer up until Dark Droids. And then you got a 1 in 25 variant for $15. Very reasonable for Star Wars. Star Wars Yoda, issue number 9. And we got a cover B for that one. Zach, I got you. Sorry, I missed it last time. Collected editions from Marvel, all the one-shots that came out earlier this year, featuring Marvel characters and their interactions with really jerky vampires, and Blade, who's not a jerky vampire. He's a cool vampire.
Thank you.
That's Unforgiven. That's the whole mini-series in trade. Below that, we've got the July 1963 Omnibus from last week, with your first X-Men, what else was in there? First Avengers, Fantastic Four Annual, all the good stuff. Star Wars Hidden Empire, completely collected as a miniseries in trade paperback. Also, same deal with Wasp. That's all 4 issues. And then a pretty cool couple of collections from Marvel history. Hulk, the first 60 years, is like almost an encyclopedic book of Hulk stuff. Some comic pages, panels in there, just in a general history of Hulk. And then Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale wrote Spider-Man Blue.
Yep.
Back in the day, it's a staple of comicdom, and now they put it in a great hardcover gallery, oversized hardcover gallery edition. Wow. 3 new number ones for Image this week, and the 2 that I read were awesome, so the third one's probably on par with that too. Untold Tales of I Hate Fairyland. If you have I Hate Fairyland on your pull list, don't worry, we gave you this. It is side stories from within the universe of I Hate Fairyland.
And all done by creators who aren't Scotty Young.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Neat. The other number ones for Image this week get you, I think they're 2 4-issue miniseries. Weird Work was described to me as Futurama meets LA Confidential, which is just awesome. Like a better pairing I have not heard of
I
in a
didn't
while.
read it, but I flipped through it, and I thought it was weird.
That's the mark of a
That's a
true
10
weird.
of 10.
So this will be your cover A. That's Mike Allred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who cover
That's
B is.
Shaky Kane. I'm
Oh,
pretty
that's
sure.
Shaky Kane.
Yep. And then
that's
that's Jeff Darrow.
That's Jeff Darrow. And then the last number one for Image this week was my favorite, Swan Songs, written by W. Prince, right?
Yep.
W.M.
W. Maxwell.
Or W. Maxwell Prince, thank you. Same guy who writes Ice Cream Man. It's going to be stories about the end of something. This one happens to be the end of the world, but it's super charming. It's really told in a very tongue-in-cheek way. The next one's about the end of a relationship. I think one's about the end of youth or innocence or something like that. But they're all like plays on that. And this is just great. The guy just cares about his mom, and he's got to walk across the apocalyptic city to do a favor for her. It reads really, really perfectly. So we've got cover A's for that one and cover B's also. All right, give it a shot. Then the rest from Image this week, you got Junk Rabbit. They're on issue number 4. You got No One on issue number 4 also. Love Everlasting's on number 9 of 12 or 10. We're getting there.
I don't remember.
We're getting there.
It might be 12.
Spawn on number 343. That'll be your cover A. That'll be your cover B. And then a couple collected things. All Against All, the complete miniseries from Image, completely collected. And then Invincible, repackaged into a smaller digest format. Not for kids, but it's cheaper and it's volume 1. Yeah.
Exodus.
Oh, thank you. That was so surprising.
And where'd you pull that from?
But that's our new stuff table. That's our old stuff wall. Soon to be added to with Kevin. Just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. Don't forget we're closed tomorrow, but we'll be open for business Wednesday, ready to sell you some comics. See you later.